In this video, we're looking at practice problem number 1 from the second lecture. In this question here in the notes, you have a household who saves $2, and what we're trying to calculate is the earnings from the savings. So in these models, these households are making a choice about what to save and consume, and savings and consumption separately create a benefit. And so what they're trying to do is maximize that total benefit. In this problem here, we're just getting practice calculating the benefit that can be attributed to the savings decision by itself. So given a savings amount of $2, what we're using as in the notes there is this formula where we can put the savings amount measured in dollars, and to find that future value, what that savings will generate after earning interest, we just take that savings amount S and multiply it by this 1 plus I that we're using. And what that's going to give me then is at maturity, the savings amount principal itself as well as the interest earned on the savings. So if I plug this in, the savings amount in this case is $2, so that's my choice by the household to put aside $2 of income into the savings account. And it says in practice problem number 1, the interest rate is 20%. So what that means is I is there 0.2. So what I'm going to do is multiply that by 1.2. So here my I is the 0.2, so I've just added that to 1, and that's how I get my 1.2. So this is what I'm multiplying the savings amount by. So then if I just put that in my calculator, whatever that amount is, 2 times 1.2, and I have in this case $2.40. So what that means is if I invest my $2 in the account at maturity 1 year later or whatever the time period is, the balance in the account, which is what I'm trying to calculate, should be $2.40. Okay, and I can do that with any different amount, right? I could use 2 or 5 or whatever. And this particular question is looking at a savings amount of 2. All right, in the same video here, let's also look at the problem right next to it. Practice problem number 2. In this case, you have a household, and we assume there's a wealth of 9. So this is a $9 wealth endowment. This is just assumed to be the amount of money or the funds that the household starts with. This can be, say, the result of income, say a household is earned from working. That starting point, $9, is then basically in these models getting divided up between consumption and savings. And so that's what we're working on is that decision, modeling that decision by the household, how to split up whatever wealth they begin with. Practice problem 2, we assume you have $9, and it says right in the problem, for some reason, this is just for practice, they've picked to consume $4, which means, right, in terms of a story, that they've taken $4 of their income or wealth and purchased goods and services for consumption. So you pay a rent on the apartment, you buy food, transportation, and so on. So this is money that is basically spent on consumption of goods and services. In this case, the question says if the interest rate is 14%, so we have a 14% interest rate in the financial market, what is the total earnings from savings? So in this case, if I consume 4, that just means the rest of this wealth endowment must be going to savings. So if I know that consumption is 4, the savings is always wealth minus consumption, because, right, the identity here was that C plus S always has to equal the wealth endowment. So if I consume 4, then that just leaves $5. So that means I saved $5 of my income that I essentially just didn't spend. So all I do is I use the same formula we did here in a minute ago. I take my $5, that goes into a savings account, and it earns this interest rate, 1 plus I, so 1 plus 0.14 in this case for my interest rate. So this is 5 times 1.14, and this should be the amount of money I have in the account at maturity. So I'll drop all that in the calculator, 5 times 1.14, and I get $5.70. Okay, so the payoff or earnings from my savings decision of $5 would be $5.70.